My parents disowned me at 16 for choosing adoption for my baby. 10 years later, my mom called and said, "I'm pregnant and we want you to adopt the baby." I was 16 when I got pregnant and told my parents I wanted to put the baby up for adoption. My dad yelled, "You're going to abandon your own child like a piece of trash?" My mom stood behind him and said I was disgusting for throwing away family. "If you do this, you're not my daughter anymore," she said. I left home that night with 2 garbage bags of clothes and stayed with my boyfriend's family. That was 10 years ago. I'm 26 now, happily married to someone who actually loves me, and I teach 5th grade. I've never regretted my choice for a second. When my mom called and said she was pregnant and wanted me to adopt the baby, I hung up. She kept calling and leaving voicemails crying about being 48 and too old and tired to raise another baby. I finally called back and said, "Figure it out like I did at 16 with no help from you." She gasped. That was different. I asked how, and she went quiet. My dad called later that night. "Your mother is going through hell and you're making it worse by being selfish." I laughed. "I'm making it worse by not cleaning up your mess after you disowned me?" He sighed. "That was 10 years ago. You need to learn what family means." I said, "You made it crystal clear I wasn't family," and hung up. A week later, they showed up at my door holding a folder. "Won't you just look at the papers and consider doing the right thing for once?" I told them to leave, but my mom started crying. "I made a mistake 10 years ago. Can't you forgive me?" "I forgive you, but I'm not going to adopt your baby." I tried to close the door and my dad blocked it with his hand. "Just look at the papers, it's the least you can do." I stared at him. "Do you even hear yourself? You called me a monster for putting my baby up for adoption, and now you want me to adopt your baby?" My mom stepped closer. "It makes sense because then the baby stays in the family." My dad nodded. "Plus you owe us after everything we did raising you." I walked to my bedroom and grabbed a box from my closet that I kept for this exact moment. I dumped everything on the porch in front of them. Letters from my mom telling me I was dead to her. A voicemail transcript of my dad screaming that I destroyed the family name. Text messages calling me heartless and evil. I picked up a letter and shoved it at my mom. "Read it out loud." She shook her head and I said it louder. She took it with shaking hands and read, "You are throwing away your own blood like garbage, and I will never forgive you for being this selfish and cruel." Her voice cracked and she dropped the paper. I handed another to my dad. "Your turn." He read in a whisper, "If you give that baby away, don't ever contact us again because you're not our daughter anymore." I grabbed an email and read it myself. "I told everyone at church you're not part of this family anymore because you chose to be a coward." My mom was crying now. "I was just emotional. That was my first grandbaby, and I didn't know how to handle it," she said. I stepped closer. I was 16 years old and terrified. "You were supposed to be my mother, but instead you chose to abandon me." My dad tried to speak, but I cut him off. "If adoption is as disgusting and evil as you told me it is, then you need to raise this baby yourself." My mom reached for me, but I backed away. "I'm not your solution, and I won't help you pretend you're good people. Get off my property." I walked inside and locked the door while they stood there crying. They kept the baby because they had no choice. My mom sent a letter with a photo and a half apology blaming her hormones. I threw it away without reading past the first line. Not long after that, I got an email from the adoption agency. Carly's mom wrote, "Carly has been asking about meeting you. Would you be open to lunch?" I drove to a cafe that Saturday and watched a little girl with my eyes walk in holding her mom's hand. She saw me and ran over. "You look like the pictures," she said, and hugged me. We sat down and she talked nonstop about school, her dog, and how she wants to be a teacher just like me someday. Then she looked at me seriously. "Do you ever think about me?" "Every single day." She smiled the biggest smile I've ever seen. "My parents told me you loved me enough to give me a better life, and that's the bravest thing anyone can do. Thank you for that. I've never felt more content in my entire life."